Thailand is a nation in damage control. Its military at the centre of a public relations battle being waged as it tries to sell its seizing of power as a good coup.
So very happy, very enjoy, very happy, perfect.
I find it myself today that it's turned to be a tourist attraction, and it's like I told my clients that it looks like our National Children's Day, that the parents bring all the children to see this, and the same way that our clients like to see this, that I bring them here.
They're so warm, so friendly.
Happy place to be.
Yes. I think they smile so much, they're so happy, that even when they're having a coup, they're still happy.
And that's the image Thailand's coup makers are keen to promote abroad through its English-speaking spokesman.
When we talk about coup, it's not really as bad as you think it would be because of our intention.
The one man who is no longer smiling is the nation's now former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra. A year ago, he was the country's all-time most powerful elected leader. Now he's in exile in London, knowing he could well face jail if he was to return home.
Well, if he came back, we probably invite him first to talk to us. And that's, you see, we can clear things out because we can still consider he's a Thai citizen. And, you know, the Thai citizen should talk, you know, clear things out. Yeah.
Have you been in contact? Has the military, has this council been in contact with him?
No.
No phone calls?
No.
For a man who won 3 landslide elections, the third was declared void earlier this year, he has few friends left.
Thaksin! Thaksin!
For the past year, Thais have regularly taken to the streets, accusing Mr Thaksin of corruption and abuse of power. But politicians critical of his rule, although welcoming his removal from power, are feeling increasingly nervous about the military's grip on power.
I'm trying to call those people who are working with the military, you know, like to take it easy, you know, they're trying to control everybody.
Last week, Thaksin Shinawatra was the chairman of the Thai Senate's Foreign Relations Committee.
I have a feeling that they should get out of this paranoia, you know, and come to their senses. That, you know, they have the majority of the people on their side already, and they should not, in fact, establish some sort of draconian, you know, like control over the Thai society to such an extent.
The coup makers had said they didn't want to stay in power, but in an ominous announcement yesterday, the generals now say they will remain in government as advisors even after a civilian prime minister is appointed. And in the past week, key politicians loyal to the former Prime Minister have been detained. Martial law has been declared, media criticism curbed, and any gathering of more than 5 people banned.
Our intention is really to correct things and turn the power to the people as quickly as possible.
In a democracy, it's not the military's decision to correct things according to what the military thinks is wrong.
Well, it is different because you see the mentality of a different country concerning military is differently. You've been in Thailand for many years, so you understand that our military here is not just to protect the country, we also do help develop the country.
So far, there's been little outcry. Even the country's longest established political party, the Democrats, has been mealy-mouthed in its defence of democracy itself. Earlier this year, the Democrats boycotted the general election, accusing Thaksin Shinawatra of undermining the basic principles of a democratic state and refusing to commit to constitutional reform.
The government, the Prime Minister, refused to even come to that. So we decided to boycott it, which was our constitutional right.
But it seems that people are messing with democracy here. You don't like it, you boycott it. You don't like the Prime Minister, you throw him out.
That's not true. That's not true. We have tried all efforts in order to bring the solution to the problem, to the crisis, to the prolonged crisis, through the political process, through the parliamentary process, through the democratic process. We have failed. We were willing to go on. We were willing to, toil on that road, but a lot of people thought it was futile. And toward the end, the military leaders took the action. We cannot condone, we cannot agree, we cannot support, but we understand.
What little outcry there is has been generated by this man, academic and proud socialist Giles Ungpakorn.
I grew up under military dictatorships in Thailand, and they all say the same thing, that they're going to reform politics, that they're going to return power to the people as soon as possible, and they're going to draw up a constitution.
In defiance of the military's ban on gatherings of more than 5 people, he led the first protest against the military coup.
Our message is that we want the military to return to barracks and not intervene in politics. We want the 1997 Constitution restored, and we want free democratic rights, the right to assembly, the right to express opinions, and a free media.
Hundreds gathered to watch the handful of protesters stage a series of protests on the steps of a downtown shopping centre. This first test of the coup leader's resolve passed unremarkably. Security forces were present, photos were taken, but no arrests made.
คือขณะนี้เนี่ยนักข่าวเยอะเรายังไม่เห็นเรายังไม่ได้ยินว่าเขาทำอะไรบ้างไม่รู้ว่าพูดอะไรบ้างก็คงต้องให้เวลาเจ้าที่ตำรวจพิจารณานิดนึงครับแล้วก็ขอประทานโทษด้วยครับเดี๋ยวขอเวลาพิจารณานิดนึงครับ
But it's not the military's ban on political gatherings that kept people away. Thailand may be one of Southeast Asia's leading democracies, but polls show an overwhelming number of people support this coup. A poll taken just after the coup showed rural voters now more in favour of the military's action to break the political deadlock which has plagued the nation for almost a year than their urban counterparts. This woman bought her drink cart under one of the Prime Minister's job schemes to help the rural poor. She can't believe all the corruption allegations against him.
คือตอนนี้มันคิดว่าทักษิณก็ทำงานมากเกินไปนะคะแล้วก็มันก็มีหลายฝ่ายที่ว่าทำงานมากคนทำงานมากนี่ก็มีการผิดพลาดได้นะ
But here in the main market of Ayutthaya, the former capital of Thailand, people tired of the political uncertainty see the coup as a means to bring political stability.
ก็ดีอ่ะก็จะได้หยุดนิ่งแบบว่าอะไรมันก็จะลงตัวอะไรมันก็จะดีเศรษฐกิจจะพอเพียงจะดีแบบอยู่แบบพอเพียง
And accusations of corruption against the Prime Minister, which the military is now promising to investigate, are beginning to bite.
ตอนนี้เขาทำร้ายประเทศไทยมากอะไรเงี้ยก็เลยไม่รักเขาแล้วเกลียดแล้วเขารักประเทศไทย
The Coup Council has already set up an anti-graft commission which will have the power to seize assets of politicians and their families. The military appears to be hoping that by exposing corruption under the former Prime Minister, it will justify its seizing of power. Gorn Chattokavanich is a former international banker and now a senior member of Thailand's oldest political party, the Democrats.
I want Thaksin to return. I want him to be given a fair trial.
As the only surviving party, the Democrats know it too stands to gain politically, but to outright endorse the coup would be a step too far. It's a bit of a bonus in some respects for the Democrats, isn't it? You wouldn't have won the election that wasn't had, that you boycotted. You wouldn't win one now. Come a year's time, you're the only party that's left.
Well, I think that summary of the situation is fair, but I think you have to acknowledge the fact that we were the only party that was fighting against all that was wrong with the Thaksin regime over the past 5 years. So in many ways, if we are finally rewarded for that, I think that's fair rewards.
Another unlikely supporter of the coup is this woman. Dr. Porntip Rajasonan is a forensic scientist who has worked hard at uncovering the truth behind some of the country's worst human rights abuses, especially in the south, where a Muslim insurgency has been brutally suppressed.
It's a time of good things that happened in Thailand, but we have to wait because the problem of the human rights in Thailand is in the very worst situation, not a good situation.
When 78 young Muslim men suffocated after being loaded into trucks packed like logs, she was called to investigate. She exposed a level of brutality and savagery that shocked the world and has inflamed an insurgency which has now cost almost 2,000 lives in the past few years. Dr. Porntip sees the end of Mr. Thaksin's hardline approach as by far the best chance for the South.
Why do you think it's going to get better?
Maybe because General Sonthi, he is the only one who understands the things in the South. Maybe not because he is the Muslim, but maybe because he has a loyalty to the king too.
With Thailand somewhat of a beacon for democracy in the region, it's disturbing that an elected Prime Minister, albeit in caretaker mode, has been overthrown by the military. But the allegations of anti-democratic abuse against Thaksin Shinawatra have been swirling for over a year. There is an acceptance amongst most Thais that if the coup turns out to be the only way to bring him to account, then perhaps the interests of democracy will be served by this most unfortunate of methods.
I would like to see him, facing the music, in fact. I would like to see him faced with honest judges and bring all the charges of human rights violations.
So what are your plans in London? Well, relax, stay with my daughter, that's it.
I would like to see him face charges on tax evasion and outright corruption in so many cases.